So Scotland got its ass spanked today. That's obviously a big news story. Nicola Sturgeon, who is First Minister up there, has obviously been looking to take Scotland independent for a while now. They had the independence referendum in 2014, and the result was that they voted to stay part of the United Kingdom. And then Brexit happened, and the argument is, or was, that because the stability of the UK had been shaken, because the fundamentals of the UK had altered and shifted, and because Scotland was so in favour of the EU in the Brexit referendum, that rather than be dragged out of the EU, kicking and screaming, they should be given another say, right? Presumably with a view to then, in the future at some stage, decide on whether they wanted to rejoin the EU. That kind of thing. Which, look, I have to say I have some sympathy with. I think Scotland voted, was it like 60% Remain? I mean, that is pretty decisive in electoral terms. That is a fairly comfortable majority. I don't know. And then what? Like, they're supposed to just, because a bunch of like English mining towns and home counties racists voted to leave the EU, then Scotland's just supposed to go, well, okay, I guess we climb aboard the runaway Brexit train then, just crash into the ravine against our will. Like, doesn't feel right to me. Does it feel right to you guys? Forcing them to crash out, to make them poorer, to make their lives shitter. I don't know. Like, I know we're talking, geopolitically, and we're talking about referendums and Scottish Parliament and English Parliament, and, it can all get a bit stuffy and a lot of jargon, political and otherwise. But, maybe what we need is metaphor, right? That's what we're good at on this show, is metaphors. Break it down. Keep it simple. So what are they doing, right? We're forcing them to stay in a shit situation against their will and pretending that it's not a total fucking disaster. That's the nuts and bolts of what we're doing. We're forcing them to stay in a shit situation against their will and then pretending it's not a total fucking abortion. I mean, it's like, metaphor-wise, it's like demanding that your wife stays at home with you when she really wants to be off on holiday with her mates in the Algarve. Like, that's kind of what it's like, if we're going for a metaphor here. She's like, I just want to be in the Algarve with Amy and Trish. And you're like, no, you stay back here with me. It'll be shit over there. And she's like, no, it won't. It'll be shit here. And you're like, no, actually, you're wrong. And she's like, what are you talking about? Like, why is it not going to be shit here? Why would it be shit over there? Why can't I go? And you're like, because reasons. Just because I said so. Because I'm your overarching overlord. Like, and besides, I'm the only one that can drive around here. And I'm not driving you to the airport. So I guess you're staying here with me because I said so. So why don't you sit your ass down? You subservient cat. Like, it's like, that is kind of what you're doing. You're staying here with me in Hatfield. Like, and then she sat there angry, flicking through the photos on her friend's Instagram of the holiday that she wants to be on. And then you're like, well, yeah, it looks all right, but it's not Hatfield, is it, babe? Romanticizing this shit situation that you're in, that you're forcing her to be a part of as well. And you think she's just going to sit there and take it. Like, really, like that sort of, that controlling, arrogant, coercive kind of dynamic. She's just going to sit and take it? No. But she's supposed to sit there and be like, well, I could be on holiday having a great time, drinking cocktails, laughing, singing, doing terrible karaoke, like objectively bad karaoke. Like, nobody wants to hear a 35-year-old white woman rapping Gangster's Paradise in a Kent accent. Nobody wants to hear that. Literally not one person flew to the Algarve to observe that event. No one. But it would have been fun, you know? It would have been great fun for her, but she's dragged back by this coercive, arrogant, controlling partner. And now she's supposed to be like, well, you know, ho-hum. I guess I'll just happily remain here against my will with no say. Like, you know, how do we think that's going to work out well? How do we, like, do we think she's just going to sit there smiling? Like, of course not. She's either going to run away or the tension will build up over time and then she will crowbar her husband when he's not looking, like after 20 years of resentment or some shit. Or he's going to catch her Googling where, you know, domestic violence shelters are, and then that shit will blow up and kick off. Like, that is how that story ends, right? And the Westminster, you know, I'm sorry to say, embarrassed to say, the Westminster English lot are the controlling, coercive husband in this metaphor, in case that wasn't obvious. I don't want to hit you around the head with it. But, like with IndyRef2, I feel like it's, you know, I mean, it's classic Torydom, really, isn't it? It's like, it's classic Torydom in the sense, like the short-termism of it. Like, you might win the battle that day, right? You might keep your wife back that week instead of going on holiday. You might ridicule, say, you know, Ian Blackford at PMQs, and then, like, one of your friends goes, oh, you got it really good with that one line. Oh, well done. Oh, thank you very much, Mr. Barnaby Smythe, or you know, whatever. You might get the Supreme Court to rule against another referendum on that one day. But this stuff doesn't just, you know, go away, does it? These people aren't just going to, you know, shrug. Like, well, you know, we gave it our best, lads. But you know what? Maybe it's time that we accept these weird, detached Etonian pricks are our overlords and we just fillet them accordingly. Like, it doesn't just dissipate. It just festers and grows and manifests, and, you know, they're gonna go away and they're gonna plot and they're gonna strategize and they're gonna review their options, and then, you know, if we're really unlucky, this sort of, you know, overlooking, mocking, and disrespect, if we're really unlucky, could play right into the hands of, like, a Scottish populist. Do you know what I mean? Like, it wouldn't take much right now for that sort of person. Like, imagine a sort of Scottish Tommy Robinson kind of character. You know, that sort of person could spring up now so easily. A true blue, you know, flag-waving Scot, all about independence, all about a free Scotland, and just pouring a load of scorn at the, you know, the English ruling class, like pouring that onto the fire and blaming England for all of Scotland's problems, you know? It's because the English won't unshackle us or let us realise our potential, like all of that populism. It wouldn't take anything for that to fucking spark a fire right now.
Boosh.